What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Replayer Podcast. I'm your host this week, Dan, with always my co-host, Pagan.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Pagan.
Hi there.
Welcome to level 2 of the Replayer Podcast.
Level 2. Bring
2.
it, baby. Bring it.
Entire year of the Replayer Podcast. And here to celebrate with us this week is our Replayer guest, Holly and Justin. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey.
Level 2!
Awesome.
Whoa.
Level 2.
Level 2 hype.
This is Jerry Springer. Whoop, whoop,
Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Two.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Justin.
Thanks for the hype, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Welcome back, Justin.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be
Welcome
back.
Welcome
Justin's
back. And welcome for the first time, Holly.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys so much. Justin, of course, you are a return guest. You were on with us a couple of months back. And Holly, this is your first time joining us today. So we get to hear your replayer journey because that's why we're here. We want to meet our replayers. That's what we're here for. That's what the point of the show is. Replayer Podcast. We learn about replayers. We do. So, Holly, please tell us a little bit about your replayer journey.
Where to begin?
Where indeed.
I think I found it through, I think it was a video that just popped up. Let's be honest, I was probably watching like a Troy and Nolan compilation or something. And it probably just popped up and was like, hey, you're probably like this. And I was like, oh, maybe. I was like, oh yeah, go on then. I think it actually might have been the Star Wars episode.
Which Star
that
Wars?
first got me. I can't
PlayStation
remember.
1
Yes, it might be. I think it might have been that one that popped up because I didn't come to it until quite late on.
Or is this was this like Father Knows Best Star Wars, like the Lego version, or just the original one that they did with PlayStation 1? Oh yeah,
the original. Sorry. Yeah, I think that was the one. I think I didn't come into it until like the February last year. I can't remember.
February last year?
But yes, I can't remember days. I'm old.
Frantically Googling.
I was like, I don't know.
Unless you're with it, sorry.
Because that would have been even, I think February last year was before I even came into the Replayer Podcast, or the Replayer, Retro Replay.
Or maybe it might have been later than that then.
Because the Star Wars episode was this past, I want to say like November. Like of 2019, November. Anyways, we'll figure that out later.
I'll find
whichever
out.
one.
It
was whichever one was like a while ago anyway. Anyway, yeah, and then I found it through that.
And Star Wars. They played Rogue Squadron. That was the flying one. And then they played.
No, it was that one. It was that one.
There we go.
Yeah, so the Rogue Squadron.
Hey,
I'm Ricky. Less drinky for me. All right, hold on.
Drinky for me.
It premiered March 14th, 2019. Oh, you were so close with February last year. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
look at that. Wow.
I say we get
please insert that meme there.
Wow.
What's his name? Luke Owen? No.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, sorry.
wow.
Just insert that there.
But yeah, so I found it through that, and then it I was just kind of like this. I love this from here, and then I eventually got the courage to put in the chat like hi, because I was seeing the chat and I was like, I'm too nervous to like say anything, and then I was like, hello.
But you like cosplay and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
I
so
saw your stuff. I saw it. It looks so cool, by the way.
Oh,
sorry.
thank you.
I only recently saw it on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, god damn, that's so cool."
Oh, thank you.
Much appreciated. You got a fan over here.
Oh, thanks very much. My one and only.
So my question there then, like you said, you're a little shy in the live chat, but that's like a thing with cosplaying too, right? Like it's almost escapism because you can be public, but you're not yourself, right? So you're kind of hiding behind the cosplay almost, right?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, a little. I got
You
that.
should check it out.
Oh,
I will.
It's.
I feel like with the cosplay, it's a bit more because I'm a costume designer So I've been doing costume and stuff for a long time.
Cool.
Face right now.
So is this more like a performance art for you in terms of like you're being able to like actually make something or design something and then like go ahead and present it?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a lot more performative because thank you.
You're welcome.
I wrote just a tangent on my life now. I wrote my entire dissertation on like performativity of costume.
Ooh.
So that whole
I'm so interested in this. I have a master's in drama and performance. I'm so interested. Okay, we're gonna have
like we love the drama kids.
We love the drama kids. Yes.
Sorry, Justin.
Sorry.
We're out of the picture.
Sorry,
now.
go ahead.
Sorry. Sorry guys, if you could just like
we'll be right back.
Take 5.
Like they're gonna have a side chat for a little while.
Sorry, so the performativity of costume, that is fantastic. I would love to hear more about it. Sorry, go ahead.
No. So then coming into the chat and stuff was different because I was like, oh, this is me now. This is like me as a person. It's not like me as a character, or it's me as like, it's me and I'm crazy and weird. I don't know whether people are going to be like, hey.
We're all crazy.
Or they're going to be like, oh.
Yeah, we're all big nerds.
I soon figured that. I soon figured that out. I was like, yeah, this is my people. These are my people.
I have found my people.
Yeah, literally. I was like, yes, thank you.
Oh, I relate to that so much.
But yeah, whatever the original question was, I hope I answered it through my like.
Good, you're good.
Yeah.
Well, the way the way you'd answered it, I was just gonna say like with the YouTube recommendation of Retro Replay, I gotta say YouTube's algorithms are fucking on point. The amount of people we've had on the Replayer podcast that have told us they've come through from a YouTube recommendation, I'm like, right. Your algorithms, buddy, are pulling in the right people.
Literally.
It's usually the people who are already watching either Troy or Nolan on YouTube, and they're like, "You might like this," and they're like, "Cool, I do like that."
yes, I do.
Like, yes, please give me more.
All right, so Justin, you have been on the show before, but why don't you give us a little bit of a refresher about how you found Retro Replay?
Well, first off, I just want to say, Holly, kudos on cosplaying. It's something I've always wanted to do. I hope to be able to do it one day, but kudos to you for that. As for my journey, it honestly started with a Watch Mojo list. Troy and Nolan react to Watch Mojo's top 10 Troy Baker performances. Nice. And it was a recommendation from that. And it was, I want to say, episode 3 or 4 of Retro Replay. It was back when it was actually the first episode I saw was the Ghosts and Goblins with Seamus the Knight.
Yes, awesome. What a great episode to come in on. Seamus the Knight. Oh, stop. It'll be in my head all day.
Oh no, don't get it in my head, please.
Fuck, I'm so sorry. All the listeners out there, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But that's when I started watching. There wasn't really a big community yet. We were just like comments, and then Robbie Nate was starting to put together a Discord, and then I didn't join that until about 2 or 3 months after she got that put together, and then about 2 or 3 months after that got together, they were starting to do these live premieres, and I've just been with the community ever since, and I've been enjoying every minute of it. I love you guys. I love the community. I love the show.
Oh, we love you too. It's really nice to see a lot of names pop up that have been on the show before as well, in the live chats and everything, because I feel like we've gotten to know so many people through this podcast over the last year. So anytime like I see Aussie Gamer and I'm like, oh my God, it's Justin. How are you, pal? It's really nice. It's just super nice. And obviously I'm gonna have the same effect on you now, Holly. I'm so sorry. You've got yourself a stalker.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh boy.
If nothing else, I have the same thing that I can say that's been great about doing this show is meeting so many of the replayers, and like I'll shout out Pyro. I mean, I knew Pyro for the Deadpool in the live chat. I chatted with him a little bit, but didn't really know. Now I talk to Pyro all the time. Like I've gotten to be pretty good friends with him outside of the show, which is awesome. Like I'm really close friends now with a lot of replayers outside of the show, outside the podcast, outside live chat. It's just incredible what this community, given me all around.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'd like to get to know everybody. Like I knew I was getting to be friends with everybody, and then COVID hit. I got a new shift at work, and it just it wears me out most days. I wake up super early. By the time I get home and anybody's on the Discord, I'm dead tired. And so I feel like I've fallen out of contact with, a lot of people on the Discord, and I want to fix that soon. But yeah, everybody is great to talk to and just hang out with. And everybody feels like, your friend, your family, your brother, your sister.
Sure.
I can definitely relate to that. Like coming into it actually, it was a very like weird time in my life. So to have you guys just be as amazing as you are and the community to be as amazing as it is just really just got me out of that.
Fantastic.
And then I met a lot of like Justin, like all of us, we've all met so many amazing people. And dates again. September. September was the meetup in London that Retro Replay did on the boat at the Golden Hive.
26th of September, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, were you there for that too?
Yeah.
The 26th was the 28th? Oh, I don't know. It was after Glasgow, though, I think.
It was, yeah.
Just after Glasgow.
Yeah. Which was amazing because it was like, oh wow, I'm not just kind of speaking to you online anymore. I actually get to have conversation. We get to go for a pint after, like we get to like actually hang out. Cool. And from that has like blossomed so many like everlasting relationships that
one of the things I was really looking forward to this year for 2020, if it wasn't for COVID, I was really planning on going over to the UK for, I think it was Manchester or Glasgow.
Yes.
Which one's the big one?
You were going to come over for Manchester on the 1st and 2nd of August.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to meeting a lot of the UK player family.
Yeah.
There's just so many wonderful people over there, and just like, I was just looking forward to having a pint with everybody, just like that.
As soon as COVID's over, buddy, we'll just try.
Hopefully, me and Pagan one of these days are actually going to do like a in-person live
podcast. Oh,
man.
Oh, I wish I could see that.
That's the dream.
Maybe you will. Maybe we'll all be there. Who knows? It's going to be very exciting.
Maybe one day we'll have our own panel somewhere. We'll be doing Replayer podcasts.
Yeah, God, can you imagine? At a Retro Replay concert or a Retro Replay con convention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is only level
Can you imagine
2.
if that was true? Yeah, it's only level 2. That's like level 40. We have to earn your XP points first,
Well, I mean, technically, Retro Replay is still only level 3, so.
True that. We're only 2 levels behind. It's all good.
All right, let's move on to our replayer questionnaire. We get to know you guys a little bit more, especially for the other replayers out there listening. They can learn a little bit more about you guys. Find those things to talk about over that pint. We're going to start off with, what was your introduction to gaming? Holly, being our new guest. I'm going to kick it off to you first.
Ooh. Okay, so it's this little like indie game, Crash Bandicoot.
Never heard of it.
Oh my.
Crash what?
Yeah.
A Bandicoot? Are they real?
I think they're a myth. Yeah. My cousin had a PS1 and he was like, here, you should play this game. And I was like, what's this? And then I was hooked from there. But me and my dad used to play, he had an old like Atari joystick.
Okay.
And we used to plug that in the TV. And it was literally like, the tennis game that literally like you just move the ball like back and forth.
Oh, Pong?
Yeah, Pong.
Ooh, like, the OG.
The OG.
Wow.
So yeah, that was probably like the first introduction, and then I was like, what else is out there? Which is great.
Sparked your interest. Pong was that interesting. It was like
Pong was that interesting. I was like, wow, the monotony was amazing. Huh?
Did you play Crash and then Pong?
No, other way around. Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say like, if you were playing Crash and then Pong,
yeah, then like
where can games go from here?
Yeah.
No, I feel like it would be like such an anticlimax to come from Crash Bandicoot to Pong.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh,
what is the point of this game?
Did it digress? Like, did it go bad? Like, what happened? Did Crash break the system? Like,
yes, the only game is Crash.
Yes, literally. And then soon after, I found Barbie Rapunzel, which was my amazing.
Again, Justin.
I'm sorry.
Hold on a second.
No, it's fine. I can listen
Hold
to
up a
stories all
minute.
day. That's like one of the biggest things I say in like every comment on retro replay videos is like I can listen to the stories all day.
Here comes the Barbie
In the style of girlfriend reviews. Hold up a minute. Have you ever played Barbie sports? Please, please, please.
I
please.
have.
Stop! Oh my god, really?
Yeah. It was.
Podcast is over.
We have to
sorry.
talk. We have to talk. I just only remembered this game a couple weeks ago while we were on podcast. I had forgotten this game existed.
Yeah, if
It
you
was
listen
so
to that
good.
episode, she loses her mind.
Oh my god, I'm so.
She did.
My
In fact,
cheeks hurt.
I think I did listen to that episode, and I was like, oh my god, another Barbie fan. I was like obsessed with it.
I'm
it
so
was-
happy.
I mean, I've obviously progressed from Barbie since then, but honestly, that really sparked everything for me.
We have to chat.
We'll chat.
So great, and you had to collect the skates, and you had to get more money to get
Pagan's
the
got like
skates.
permanent Joker face
Difficult.
right now.
My
She's like,
feet hurt so bad. Oh,
On this one, you got a little. You had to like restore the castle from the evil spell and free Prince Stefan, and like you got a little paintbrush and you had to go around and like fix it all up. Oh my god, I spent so many hours.
Come on.
I know, like, oh my goodness.
that gamer girl.
Hashtag gamer girl.
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Barbie tangent aside.
But yeah,
Excellent.
sorry.
What was your
There we
name?
go.
Sam,
Sorry,
Ebo
I
ready.
will not.
Please tell me it's Barbie. Please tell me it's Barbie.
Oh, please, God,
It's like-
Barbie, please, please, please. You said it was Crash, right?
Sorry.
For-
Justin?
Yeah, did Justin say it was Crash Bandicoot too?
No,
Oh,
mine was actually The Legend of Zelda, the OG Legend of Zelda, back when I was like
OG.
3 years old.
Original Legend of Zelda.
Nice.
And then it just from there, my parents would buy me more games that they thought I would like, and I was getting hooked. Started with Zelda and
How old
moved
were you
on
when
from
you
there.
played Legend of Zelda the first time?
3. I didn't get
3.
anything done, but I was just
Okay.
having fun running around.
Now, if I can go on my own little tangent, I
liked
will
it.
say the first Legend of Zelda game I ever played was Link's Awakening on my Game Boy. My grandma had bought me that game in a very grandmotherly way. She walked into a store, said, "What's the hottest new game so I can buy it for my grandson?" and bought whatever game they handed her. And she gave it to me. Never heard of it before. I had no idea what I was doing in that game. And I said, "This game sucks," because I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh,
Later
poor young
on,
man.
I've learned that it's one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games of all time when I learned how to actually play those games. I'm wondering if you went through a similar experience with Zelda.
I did.
Okay, I don't feel so bad now. Anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I was just running around. I couldn't figure out what to do, but I was having. I didn't think that the game sucked. I was just having fun, just being able to do the things.
Do the
Because
thing.
back when you're 3, you're playing. It's playing with toys, and then all of a
Just
sudden
looking at
your
the
parents.
colors.
Yeah, pretty much. Your parents get you an NES and they just plop you down and hand you a
I
controller.
push
They're playing a
button
little
here
bit
and
too,
something
but
there happened.
The cognitive skills you've learned from this, by the way, it must be like blew your mind. I blow my mind at 3 years old. I was like, what? I'd just be looking at the colors
That
until I
would've
see
been me
something
with-
Barbie related.
I think Mario probably was one of the first games I ever played. The original Mario on the Nintendo, and pressing
Really?
like the A button for the first time, watching Mario jump. Like, oh. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to what's your preferred platform, starting with Holly again.
Definitely PlayStation.
Cool. Moving on. I'm kidding. No, you can elaborate.
I was like, no, I'd be fully like, yeah, move on. I talk for hours, so please go. Like,
So
We can talk a little-
PlayStation.
I'll cut you off when I've had
Great.
enough.
We'll edit it all out. Don't worry. So it'll just be
We
like
will edit it all
PlayStation
out.
up.
yeah, I'd be like, Crash Bandicoot, never speak again. Okay, go. Like,
That whole Barbie chat, cut. You know
Gone.
it's cut.
Doesn't exist.
Gone to the void. No, but you can
Oh.
elaborate if you like that. Why PlayStation is your favorite platform?
No, yeah, PlayStation definitely. I think I started off pretty much on PlayStation, kind of moved to PC a little bit, but didn't gel with it as much as PlayStation, pretty much. So, yeah, PlayStation.
Sweet. And
Yep.
Justin.
It's PlayStation for me as well.
I mean, I'm sure this is already on there. We probably already had you on the imaginary board
We
of
had
PlayStation
it.
lovers.
Yeah.
I don't hate
We
PlayStation.
can't count that.
Well,
No,
I've
no,
been
it's
with what it was I was with Nintendo, and then when they were doing the whole PlayStation N64 thing, my parents bought me a PlayStation, and very first game that they bought for me, Spyro, and then I was hooked ever since.
Nice. Spyro was one of my favorite PS1 games ever, actually. Next to like Crash Bandicoot. And then as I got
Spyro's
older,
pretty
it was
great.
like Metal Gear Solid and the more mature game.
I feel like Spyro's
I
also
love-
been highly requested
Oh yeah.
for the guys to play as well. There's something else, Tomb Raider and Spyro seem to be the top requested games on the show so far.
Is probably got to be the top of the list if we ever actually kept track.
Get there. Yeah.
We're not here. Because they're gonna.
I might start keeping track of it now.
Well, maybe if they bring you on as a guest, Pagan, you can.
No, we're gonna play Barbie sports.
Perfect.
Like fuck you,
Right.
And I will watch it on repeat.
If I'm ever on the replay or the Retro Replay show, we need to play
Barbie
sports. This is my rules.
And try to get a clip of Aqua's Barbie girl in there somewhere.
Absolutely. Oh, it was just such a. I can't. Do you know why it boggles my mind? Is because I completely forgot that game existed. I completely forgot the game existed until something sparked, and I was like, "Oh my god, I played that in my childhood! I'm so excited!"
Were talking about I was talking about those extreme games on the PlayStation 1 where you did like the skateboarding and rollerblading, and you were like, "Wait a minute, there's a Barbie game where you do that."
I know. Oh god, yeah, good times, yeah. Anyway,
this is me Barbie Sports Part 2 now. Anyways,
yeah, but also Spyro has been highly requested, so I don't know. You just never know. Like I think that game was a big part of my childhood too, Dan. I think like PlayStation 1, Spyro and Crash. Maybe it was just something to do with the animation or the mechanics of the game that just appealed to me. But yeah, I remember playing them a lot as a kid.
Well,
There's also a game called Pandemonium on PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, I remember Pandemonium. I don't think I ever played that one though.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. So good.
I will piggyback off of that and say, with that topic, do you guys have a game you'd like to see them play on Retro Replay? Much like Pagan here would have them play Barbie Sports.
You know where to find me, Drew.
Holly, do you have one in mind that you'd like to see them play on the show?
It's probably been mentioned before, but I really want them to continue the Lego streak and do Indiana Jones because I loved that game so much.
Yes.
So it would be great for them to kind of just play all of them, just play all the Lego games.
They might just do that, considering where we're at with everything and trying to get through lockdown and the COVID pandemic, and that's probably on the docket.
Very true.
Justin looks like he's thinking really hard about his answer.
Well, yeah, because back when you asked me this question, the last time I was on, it was something like January or something. They were still doing The Last of Us definitive playthrough. Troy was still on, and my answers were based around Troy being on with Nolan and all about the hang and all that. With his departure, I really haven't given it much thought, honestly, about
the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, because now it's going to be like. Yeah, Nolan and Cooper have a lot of the same dynamic, but I feel like when it gets back to
if it's back on the couch, it's
going to be guest.
It might not be Cooper, right? It's probably going to be a guest of some sort.
Yeah,
so it's got to be. I've got to kind of rethink what I'd like to see them play. Honestly, I'm honestly stumped at the moment.
No, that's fine. I feel like what was really interesting is I think someone mentioned this in either the live chat or like on, I think it was on Uncharted live chat or maybe Father Knows Best live chat when they were talking about guests and stuff like that. And the guests would actually, I think Drew mentioned it too, like that he was like trying to get guests on that have some experience playing games so that they can actually bring a game from their childhood or from their memories and be like, God, this game was so great. Whether that's Barbie Sports or like fucking Tomb Raider or something. At least it's or Barbie Sports.
We can shout out our own episode from last week where we had Drew Lewis on, and he actually said just that. He said they hope to get guests on, and the guest has like a specific game in mind they want to play with Nolan, which would be pretty cool, honestly. Especially if they
feel like that would be so cool.
Something that they loved growing up as a kid. They can kind of nerd or geek out about it on the show. Be like, oh, Nolan, I can't wait for you to experience this. And then, of course, Nolan's going to do Nolan and fuck it all up.
Yeah. I'm going to say that would be nice for them to like come on and be like, oh, I can't wait for you to get to this bit. Oh, I remember this bit.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Yeah. I like that energy brought to the show as well. Like if the two guests on the show or the guest and Nolan doesn't know the game or haven't played it before, it can still be really fun because they're experiencing something new together. But it's so great if they have something already been like, oh man, I was a diehard Akari Warriors fan or whatever. Like I was a diehard whatever. I was diehard Tekken. Let's play that. I can't wait to play this. Michael Timmons, shout out. So I feel like that would be really cool. I'm excited to see someone else on the couch that would be passionate about a game they've played before and experiencing that with Nolan.
While you guys were discussing that, it was like it kind of made one game that I had said previously I think could still transfer over because it kind of fits along with Uncle Noli humor style, the classic Beavis and Butthead games on SNES and Sega.
That's a callback. Wow, that's
if you get the Genesis, he could do co-op with his guest, and the humor of that show fits in with the Uncle Noli humor style. So
it makes me want to like elaborate and build upon this original question of what game would you like to see them play, but now add in what game and with what guest. Who would you want to see play that game with?
That's cool. We've never asked about what guests would you like to see on the show.
Just in that moment, that made me think of that, like, oh, but who would play it with Nolan?
Oh wow! Honestly, I think I don't know why. I feel like this would be the best fit. Alan Tudyk. I think Alan Tudyk would have a blast with him.
Oh, do you know Tudyk would be pulling some, Beavis and like going full cornhole?
Yeah,
be hilarious
for sure. That'd be really good.
On to our next question, which is, do you have a favorite game? No, it's a hard question. If you can name a favorite, perfect. If you have to kind of like bop around a little bit or talk about franchises, we'll give you that wiggle room. So, Holly, do you have a favorite game?
Ooh. I'm going to have to change it to franchise and just kind of say Uncharted.
Yes.
I know it's probably like everyone's like, everyone always says that.
Pretty much.
Love it.
But specifically 2.
Yes.
I loved them, and I really, really loved 2. I remember playing it like briefly at my friend's house as a kid, and then my better memory of it is playing it when I finally got the PS4 and did it all again. And I was like, oh no, I remember it now. I can like bring back all these nice memories and like playing it with my mate and whatever, which was really nice. Also, I really love Journey. That's always going to hold a special place in my heart.
Yes, beautiful game. Really beautiful. The music in that is just.
I feel like we've had a couple of people mention Journey. If not, at least one other person has mentioned.
Yeah. Shout out to Austin Wintry.
Yeah, definitely. Music is so. Yeah, I was like, music in games. I am such a nerd for game music. Like, I will listen to it on repeat. I've got a little playlist on my phone that's just game music, and I play it when I'm working.
Helps concentration.
I actually love video game music. I actually have the full soundtrack for a bunch of like Super Nintendo games that I'll listen to once I fully jam out to them. Especially like Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country's got, in my opinion, some of the best video game music ever made. I don't know why or how, but it's just phenomenal.
There's a song. Oh, I clicked into something. There's a song that kind of like it plays on that Mario music and some of that, and it's called Hey Mario. I don't know who sings it. I have to Google it. It is such a great song, and I highly recommend listening to it. Patent pending. Hey Mario. I'll link it below if you want. But it's a great one, and that uses a lot of those like sounds from Mario and stuff like that because it is about video game. Yeah, it's really cool. Highly recommend that. Has nothing to do with like game soundtracks, but I think it's cool how they've incorporated all those sounds into a song.
I've heard dozens of songs that take bits from video games in that fashion.
I'm pretty sure they have a whole album on it. I think the whole album.
Like Anamanaguchi does
like
it.
that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
I've heard them before too.
I know about this.
Yeah, they do that. There's a lot of electronic music that does that.
It's cool. It's cool. I hadn't come across this before. My brother sort of introduced me to it, and I thought, oh, damn, that's really cool. I ain't never seen that before. Yeah.
So, Justin, did you mention a favorite? And the last time
Not
you were
yet.
on? Well, last time you were on.
Last time I was
did.
on, I think I mentioned a favorite, and it probably will have changed since then.
Really?
Because my favorite when I was on was probably the original Resident Evil 2, but since
I'm sure
then
we discussed that then.
the 2 remake came out, and that kind of edged over a little bit more on me.
Did it dethrone the original?
Yeah, like the original was a better design in my opinion, but it's just the remake, it was kind of like a ode to the classic, and did all the important stuff well and right to kind of like make it feel like, yeah, you love this game, we love this game, let's redo it the right way.
Agreed. I think
not at all like 3
remake did a great job of like paying tribute to the original game, but still making it new in its own way.
And we don't talk about the 3 remake.
I enjoyed the 3 remake, but I don't want to get into an argument about that. If that's
I like the story. I didn't like the replayability.
I think they did something different and unique with that. They purposely made it more of a fast-paced action game that you replay multiple times instead of the slow, methodical style of 2. They gave us a different experience, but I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, if you look at the original 3 was this, kind of like this fast-paced game too, because you were just making your way out of the city with everything kind of chasing you, especially Nemesis. It feels like they cut so much out that they shouldn't have. If they wanted to make a remake like 2, was to the original 2.
Oh,
I never played any of them, so I blacked out for that whole thing.
Hey, we found our Barbie.
Yeah, I was like, we were talking about Barbie, so we're just gonna zone out.
Me and Holly were thinking about Barbie.
Yeah, we will. I was like, the paintbrush is like.
Those are the lovely gifts I gave you for your birthday. Was it for your birthday?
I think it was.
I think it was for your birthday in January. Yeah. That guy's awesome. You're welcome. I really want to get some art off actually Lily K.
Yes. Shout out to Lily K.
Shout out to Lily K. Holy shit, her art is amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, so good. The guy on Dan's wall there, his name is Will Shrike, and his artwork is just incredible. He does them very stylized like this as well, like on the white background. Which is really nice for like I guess like hanging in your house and stuff like that. You can get different ones. Some of them are just in black and white. Some of them have a little bit of color. Some of them are full color. So that's really interesting. But I'm loving like Lily's artwork is just incredible, and I can't wait to get a bit of art from her eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna say my eyes keep getting drawn up to that upper right corner every time I see Dan's screen.
They're dope. They're so cool.
I gotta say, I'm a Claire guy. Like everybody loves Leon, but I feel like Claire is so underrated.
I prefer Leon's story. And honestly, it really comes down to one silly thing. The reason I prefer to play as Leon than Claire in the game is because Leon gets the shotgun in the beginning, and Claire gets that stupid bow gun. The bow gun is terrible.
Oh yeah, that's is. But the grenade launcher more than makes up for it.
True, but playing in the beginning with a bow launcher is awful. Anyways, moving on swiftly on, as Pagan would say.
Moving swiftly on.
My favorite question now is like, what's a new game coming out that you're looking forward to? Because we're in a very unique position right now with new games coming up. We've had some really big new games that just dropped. We've got some really interesting games still to come. So, Holly, a new game or games that you're looking forward to coming out soon?
Ooh, I'm racking my brain now thinking about the PS5 demo. I'm like, there is so many.
So many in there that could be
Let us refresh you and rip over to our little PS5 discussion, which doesn't average.
I wish.
I'm going to insert the link here.
Actually, I really
Annotation here.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is it called Deathloop? I was really interested to see what that one is
Deathloop.
about.
Hey, we
It
talked
looks-
about that one. That's the one
Oh,
from
we
the
did
guy
talk about
who-
this one. That's
Yeah.
the 60s one where there's assassins and stuff. Well,
Yeah,
it's
it looks
style.
stunning.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what that is because I like that I like that art style, and then I'm also
I'm
interested to
tentative.
see.
The only
From
thing I'm
makers of
tentative about.
Dishonored.
Oh,
Yes.
It was the Dishonored crew is making that game.
The only thing I'm tentative about is it does look like there could be really frustrating points for checkpoints. Like, because if you don't reach that, you have to go all the way back and start again. And I'm like,
Welcome
I feel
to
like that could be
regular
really
video
frustrating.
games.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like in this particular game, it looked like it could be a longer checkpoint, if you know what I mean. Like the idea is to get it through like multiple obstacles. That's all it seemed like to me. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Could be normal like the Last of Us or something. But yeah, but it looked so interesting. That super hyper stylized game looks great.
Cool. And Justin, anything new coming up that you're looking forward to?
The nostalgist in me is looking forward to the Tony Hawk remake.
Oh,
But
nice.
I think overall the next big game that I'm looking forward to is honestly Marvel's Avengers.
We've gotten that one quite a bit,
Yes,
actually. And
yeah.
I'm more excited for that game now after stuff I've seen for it.
I haven't seen any newer stuff. Again, it was like you can do a single player version, right? But it is made as a multiplayer.
Right. It's like they're going for like the Destiny model.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
Ooh,
a single
cool.
player experience, but you can play everything multiplayer, and there's going to be multiplayer specific.
Oh, it's an online game.
Yeah.
That's sorry. Yeah, because I missed that the first time when it was announced. I was like, oh, it's great. And then you mentioned it was being online. I was like, wait, what is it? Oh, okay. So there you go. Sounds good.
Sorry. I would like to add Spider-Man, the Miles Morales.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I am so excited for that one. I
So much
completely
excited.
forgot that was happening, and I was like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the bigger announcements with the PS5 reveal, was that we're getting a little Miles Morales side story game.
Mm-hmm. What do we call it?
Yeah,
An expandalone?
Expandalone.
Expandalone.
Kind of like the Lost Legacy, Uncharted.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to go next gen right away. So my answers are more like, what am I going to actually be able to play in the near future?
Well, you do have the options of, smart delivery style games. And I've heard that a lot of PS5 games are going to kind of bridge that gap a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get a PS4 version of the Spider-Man game. Maybe. But I know at least like Xbox is going to have a lot of what's coming out for Xbox One is going to be available for both Xbox One and Series X. And like I said, I think PlayStation do something similar. Maybe not for everything, because I think they're trying to push the PS5 pretty hard. But anyways, with that, I think it's time for us to roll on to our discussion of the show this week. And,
yes!
Got some good stuff to talk about this week. Let's start it off with Father Knows Best.
Which they removed the question mark this week. You removed it.
Oh yeah,
it's still.
Oh,
best.
did they? I didn't even notice.
Nolan said he wants them, but I don't think he should. I don't think they should.
No,
especially because I just made a comment to Steph, the editor in live chat, that they need to make a Mother Knows Best Tangled reference at some point, and she was like, "Yes, I'm totally doing that now."
Yes, actually, that is so true.
Like,
well, how they haven't done it before?
That's basically how I said it to her, Steph. I'm like, I don't know how you haven't made a Tangled reference yet. He's like, I am now. So I got a couple of things I wanted to shout out here from that episode. We had that really cool Uncharted Star Wars mashup poster that Steph made. Another shout out to Steph.
Yes.
Like, how awesome
that's pretty cool.
That? Especially if you're a Star Wars fan. Yeah, it was cool. Pagan can fuck off for this conversation.
Yep, I'm out. See you later.
Wait. What? Are you not a Star Wars fan? Sorry, I need to leave. I'm like,
hi! No, we were so close.
Bonded over Barbie.
You were like, I was like, this is a deal breaker, man.
Sorry, no, not at all a fan of Star Wars. Could never ever get into it. Don't know anything with the characters. I just can't get. I've seen the films multiple times. I just can't.
Fair enough. Not
fair enough.
Doesn't strike me the first.
There's movies that everybody can't get into. Like everybody loves the Godfather films. I can't get into those.
Oh, there you go. See, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
But the prequels and then the originals were like, yeah, great. 4, 5, and 6. I'm like, okay, I could actually watch that. Cool. That's it.
We know this, so we're going to talk about that cool poster.
Yeah. The poster
Sorry.
was so
That I
good.
love. That I'm so thankful that they distributed it across YouTube for the members
like
to
everybody
download.
Can use as a wallpaper.
I actually put that in there. And Anu's
so
making
awesome.
an appearance.
Anus, that's right.
Anu's
yeah.
making an appearance. I put a note there.
That was so good because like it was so unexpected too, and like as soon as Nolan was like, "Oh, I can make a character. This is going to be Anu. Here comes Anu."
Yes, for sure, for sure. That was really cool. I think what else did they make a note for?
What else did you?
You should drop a.
I made a note about the ending, but I was gonna open up to you guys first. If there's anything about that episode,
you guys go ahead.
Actually, let me.
I'll come in later. Bring down the tone.
Because you guys are new to the show since Father Knows Best comes on, we generally like to ask our guests, "What do you think of Father Knows Best? How do you feel about this show? Are you liking it? Is it cool? Is it not cool?" Holly, you've already mentioned you're a big fan of the Lego games, so assuming. Why don't you give us a little details on how you feel about Father Knows Best?
I love it. In fact, I sent it when the first episode aired. I sent it to my dad and was like, "This is us," and he messaged me back and he was like, "Yes, you're so infuriating playing this with," and I was like, "See."
Oh no, that's great.
So yeah, I really enjoy it because it's like watching me and my dad play, and with my dad just getting so frustrated with me, and going through them was like such a nostalgic trip as well. So I was like watching it, been like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that bit. That bit was so annoying." Oh, and then just watching the banter between those two is amazing. It's a great section. I'll know, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would highly recommend.
And you're hopeful to keep getting more and more Lego games as the series goes
Definitely.
on.
I hope so.
I think I'm cool with that too, especially because the dynamic there is great. Lego games have always been great for co-op, and they're just such good fun that like I feel like as long as Nolan and Cooper can keep having ridiculous banter between each other, which I'm sure they'll never run out of, the content will never get old.
Yeah, that's part of that father-son dynamic there.
Mm-hmm.
So do you like the show then, Justin?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I really do. But honestly, I think it's more that I love it because of, it is Cooper and it is Nolan playing together. And there is, it feels like the old Retro Replay episodes where, it's them bantering, it's them hanging, it's, having fun together. The gameplay is entertaining, and the Lego games have always, been a fun, quirky little game. But I honestly love it more for the fact that it's, I sometimes I just drone out and I just listen to Nolan and Cooper banter and do their thing instead of watching the gameplay.
They do.
I'll just sit there and listen to it.
They're just talking.
I was just about to say, when he was talking about something about a woman.
Oh.
He needs to take a shit.
Talking about the ending? Yeah. I was gonna mention
Oh. No.
And I was like, where is this going? Like, what is happening here?
That was golden.
There's a lot of like,
guys, don't be that way either.
Yeah, the ending of that episode turned into one of the most awkward and uncomfortable moments ever. And like the joke I made a minute ago about Pagan, Cooper kind of went full like Joker face, just to kind of like he was just covering like how embarrassed / how hard he was laughing.
LOL, it was so funny, honestly.
And then Nolan was just kind of like hammering it home because he knew he had Cooper. So he just kept going harder and harder with it. Which I have the quote here. He said, "I hope that one day, I hope you do date a girl like that, so that I can tell the story about like my son had dated this one girl that came out of the bathroom and was like, 'Hey, Mr. North, I just dropped the Cleveland steamer in your bathroom.'"
I wrote that quote down myself. Oh my god, what the fuck?
I was in the live chat then, and
it would make for a funny conversation,
I commented,
though.
like that was the most New England thing I've ever heard Nolan say. Like just the way he said it and how he said it. Oh, it was so good.
Great. Overall, good show.
Overall, great.
Keep up the awful relationship that Cooper and Nolan had as father and son. And,
I can't say anything. That's kind of like that is actually a very similar relationship I have to my own mother. But we know we love each other and we have fun doing it to each other.
That episode
sure.
did end with Cooper being like, "This is my dad."
Excuse me.
Yeah.
My mom sometimes says this is my son, and I sometimes leave myself saying this is my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever
all in all, I honestly wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Whenever my dad is like particularly rude or like particularly like makes a joke or something like that, that's definitely inappropriate for a time, and we're out in public place and someone would overhear, I would immediately make the other joke where I would apologize to the stranger and be like, "I'm so sorry. We don't let him out of the home that often." It's just he's obviously not used to new people. I do apologize. Like, and he just looks at me just like, "Fuck you," because he knows people will believe me, and I just think, it's great. If anybody's out there with like an embarrassing parent and they're older to believe that there's like a home for them, definitely use that, because that definitely gets them back for all the years of harassment and embarrassment I've had in public, for sure.
Me and my dad do this thing where we do it when we play games as well, where we like just turn into sports commentators.
Nice.
And we just like,
Brilliant.
and we just adopted these personalities called Harry and Jimmy for like many years, and then it just kind of turned out into real life as well. So we would just out and be like, "So Harry, what do you think of the game today?" Like, and my stepmom would be like, "What is going on?"
That's so cool.
Like,
I love that.
She'd be like, "Oh my god, I married an idiot," and I'd be like, "He's amazing."
See, we like myself and Adam do something similar in terms of like characters and stuff. We don't have names for them, but we just turn to each other like occasionally and just go into like a really thick British accent. But in it, vibes, yeah, vibes.
Like the super.
Do you want a bath or something? Yeah. Do you want a drink? Yeah, vibes. Yeah. It's a bit embarrassing, vibes, isn't it? Yeah, vibes. Like you just do like it's real. I don't know if it's Essex or something. It's like definitely that part, because where they're watching, we watched it. We got it from Love Island, which is like a British show, and it's terrible. And all of them were just like, "Is what it is, vibes, isn't it?" So from that show, is what is, darling. Every time we say it now, like that's all we do. We're like, "Yeah, in the pipes. Yeah, is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, is what it is, darling, isn't it?" Like,
I've noticed myself lately when I play a co-op game, I start adopting like Van Damme / Arnold kind of voice, like trying to narrate like what I'm doing, or what I'm trying to tell the people I'm playing with. And I get called out for doing bad Arnold. I'm like, that's the point. Not supposed to.
Yeah. Great. You do a good Arnold when you do a good Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you do a good Arnold. Yeah.
It's just fun to just be ridiculous, and you get in the moment with a game, and you don't even think about the fact that you're doing a ridiculous voice, and that's
for sure.
kind of the charm of Father Knows Best when those two get going. But that it makes you relate to those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
All right, so I think we'll move on to everyone's favorite topic. Uncle Noli knows sometimes. Damn it, Pagan, get out of my head.
Damn it! Dan, shut up!
That was not planned, I swear.
I know, it was not planned. I'm so sorry. We do that a lot,
we need to go back. We didn't get the take right.
Do it again.
We'll do that all the time. I'm sorry. All right. This one was a good one.
Yeah, we got some solid advice. You worked in a couple of solid ones in this. Do you guys have any favorites that you want to talk about? Do you have any you can think of off the top of your head? We know this is tough. It aired a Tuesday ago.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Yeah, it's always a little difficult to remember the Uncle Noli's because they're so short.
Mm-hmm.
So short, and they've all just like amalgamated to one in my head.
Right.
So just one.
Go for it.
Oh God, I can't think of any. I was like, Justin, you take this one.
We'll refresh you with some of them.
We do keep a list so that we can do that.
Yeah, we cheat. We make sense.
Did you have a favorite you want to start off with, Pagan, or do you want to actually go through the ones?
Yeah, actually, I really enjoyed the one about the snake because I also agree that you should not have a snake as a pet. They are not. They're reptiles, and they don't have like that emotional cognitivity. No, don't do that. No, look.
My mom has two.
Your mom has two. Listen, I just don't agree with snakes as pets. Whatever other reptiles or something like that. But then I also agree, like what he said. He's like, mice, you got to feed them real mice. And I have been in my friend's house, and he had a python, and he would keep like baby mice in like a canister like thing, and I'm like, oh come on, like that's awful. I wouldn't have the heart to pick up a baby mouse. It doesn't even have like hair on it yet, and feed it to a snake. I just couldn't.
Well, my mom
very
doesn't
sad.
quite have the heart for that. She goes and she buys mice that have been, that were bred and then were euthanized for specifically for feeding. So she's not feeding live mice to her
Yeah.
species.
We
I would
all know
still
that
have an
Nolan
issue
has
with
a
it.
hard time with animal death, even in video games. He's acknowledged
Yeah.
that. And I think he said
Yeah,
it
like
in
when I
32.
first got my bearded dragon off my mom, God rest his soul, I miss him. I had a hard time feeding him. I had a hard time feeding him crickets. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
I never had a
no, I
problem with
couldn't.
crickets though, because they're just bugs. Like bugs.
No.
have
Hey, everything
I
has feelings and
listen.
everything deserves to live.
Thank you, Justin. I don't like
didn't
bugs
say they
either,
don't
but
deserve
I
to
don't
live.
want to feed like crickets. Just be like, here you go, have impending doom, and then just
Right.
chuck them in there, and then they like
Right.
chase it around for a bit, and then they eat it. No,
I put the
no.
Welcome to your
cricket
prison.
into the cage, and I said,
Yeah,
"This
welcome
is
to your
Sparta,"
prison.
and flicked them in there.
Ultimately, this is your death. Fight to the death.
No, actually, I fed the bearded
Go.
dragon more
Go.
lettuce and greens.
Just get them
and stuff.
tiny spears.
Well, I eventually was able to get mine to
Battle.
eat greens and stuff. But he loved crickets and loved worms especially.
See, again, I just can't do it. I can't do it. So that's probably the one that mostly related to me, and then also cheese.
But the best
Little
part
cheese
had to be
sandwiches.
the end of that, where the
Trouser snakes?
Trouser snakes.
Trouser snakes.
But yeah, the grilled cheese one. To give it back to you, there, Pagan. Man, that sounded like a good ass grilled cheese he was talking about.
I am gonna try it.
You guys,
I was
grilled
hungry
cheese?
after that.
That's actually the one I was going to bring up if you got to me before listing off the list.
Go for it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm a fat guy, I love my food.
Hey man,
the camera doesn't make me look fat, but
I love my food. I'll give you a hard run for your money. We'll have an
Have you ever done that?
I'd have maybe done like a 4-cheese grilled cheese, like a little bit of mozzarella, some cheddar, some pepper jack thrown in, maybe some Munster for good measure with tomato, like you said.
Yeah, you're killing me.
Yeah.
Have you ever done what he suggested, like putting bacon or tomato in there? I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done bacon. It's amazing. I've done pepperoni. Pepperoni is good.
Ooh, that's a good shout.
Wait.
Bacon definitely I have, or ham, but then it's just ham and cheese. I presume you have ham and cheese in America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just recently got some jalapeno Havarti from the grocery store last week, and we were talking about that. Like, we had to try making it out of that. I've had it on toast, and on toast, it almost tastes like a jalapeno popper.
Lovely.
So, I can only imagine how that tastes on a grilled cheese.
I like those. The Burger King. I don't know if you have them in America. Holly might know. You know the Burger King bites, the jalapeno and cheese bites.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yes.
So good.
Yes. So if I'm gonna put that on a sandwich, I am down for it. I'm good for that.
It's like, great, now I'm hungry. Now I want grilled cheese.
I am so hungry. I have not eaten dinner.
A lot lately. We had the tangents about pizza like 2 weeks ago. Now it's grilled cheese.
We're foodies. What can we say?
Yeah.
Well, and then you also got COVID. Everybody's at home, and what are they doing? They're watching TV and they're eating food. So it's a relatable topic right now.
Well, I was just gonna mention like some of the more serious ones. Like somebody asked him about, is it cool to smoke? And he actually gets kind of real, and then ends it with like, cancer sucks. And it's like, okay, it's to the point. He didn't really make much of a joke out of it. Like sometimes he makes a joke out of things like that, but had a nice little moment where he like, I got nothing. Cancer sucks. Like that's so a little heart on Noli's in there. What was the other one I was looking at that I wanted to shout out? He gets these questions a lot. People asking like, how do you stay positive in stressful times? It seems like almost every other week you get a question like that. And specifically on this one, he gave a very Nolan answer, like talking about like finding the laughter hard time, which as soon as I heard them, like that's so Nolan. He does an amazing job about finding what he can to be funny, especially in dark moments. Like look at the Last of Us playthrough, and he makes jokes at awful things, and it's like leave it to Nolan. But if all else fails, you've got bourbon. It takes the edge off.
Yes.
But honestly, that has been the kind of like the philosophy of my life the past 5-6 years, because I had a period about 5-6 years ago, a rough depression stretch where every day was just a never-ending cycle of, okay, do I want to end it today? How am I going to end it? How am I going to make it so that it doesn't hurt my family? But then, I found Nolan, I found Troy, I found roles of theirs that kind of like brought some enjoyment to me, and then it started clicking. Why focus on what's making you miserable? Enjoy what you have, because you're not going to have it for very long. Just try to make the best out of each day. Enjoy what you have while you still have it.
I'm sorry to
And
hear
so
that you went
Yeah.
through that, Justin, but I'm glad you found
Yeah.
that thing that helped you kind of get in a better mindset and help you,
Thank you. Yeah.
understand just a lot of it is perspective. And, Retro Replay, thankfully, helped you get there. So I'm glad to hear that you're still here with us today because of that.
Yeah, that's fucking dope. And I feel like what you said is completely true. And I feel like there's something like echoed in like Hamilton that we were watching recently, and one of the lines in it basically echoes a statement that like sometimes you're in too deep, it feels easier to just swim down, rather than make your way to the surface. So I feel like that, like what you're talking about, like instead of just focusing on the negative and focusing on what's making you upset or sad, and finding light or joy in content or something as part of your day to lift you out of that, dude, that's awesome. Super happy that Retro Replay did that for you, and I feel like that's echoed a lot in the community, that Retro Replay has helped their life. So that's really cool. I'm so happy that you're in a much better place now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys have also helped me through a lot of rough times that might have put me back on that spiral. Like back in, I think I mentioned on the last time I was on how my grandfather just passed away back on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and you guys really helped me through that, because it hit my mom. It still affects my mom today, but you guys were there to help keep me a rock for her. I don't know that I could have been that without you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's really sweet of you to say. And I think you're so right. I think the community just rallies. They just rally behind people who are suffering. And like, I feel like that's one of the greatest part of this community. And I think it was Wendy who before said it, that like the community reflects the show and the show reflects the community. Like it's from this show, like Retro Replay being so wholesome and so good natured and so good-willed, that their community has reflected that. And that's kind of like how everybody is here, and they're all here for each other, no matter what platform it is, no matter who you are, or if you're just popping in for a live chat for the day or not. Like I feel like there's a lot of positive support in the community, so that's dope.
Yeah, you can. It never ceases that affect this community to give hundreds of hearts in the live chat, or we're here for you if you hit me up in the DMs if you talk. There's always somebody here that's willing to give you support in some form or fashion. That's definitely one of the better things that we found. I mean, we've talked about how great this community is because we're all friends now. Noodle Arms, shout out to Chris.
Yeah, Chris. And now we're all friends. Like, I love that. That was a great way to end that.
So happy to.
Well, yeah, like when I was struggling with my car, I have it now, and so I'm able to, keep up my membership. But Lauren Ellis, shout out to her. She made sure I was able to hit, founding 500 before that closed off.
It's awesome.
I'll always be thankful to her, and I'll keep my membership going specifically, as a thanks to her. Like even if things get rough for me, it's like, okay, she helped me through this. I want to keep it going because she did this for me.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know why I'm.
Sweet, and not to
wholesome shout out.
Put anything down, but let's move on.
Let's move on
to Uncharted playthrough this week, featuring as always the lovely Richard McGonigal. Which, God, I'm glad that they got him to just signed on board. Like, I'll do all of these. It's cool. I'll just hang out in my living room and
I'm free.
I'm free. I'm not doing much else.
So great. So good.
Or from hiding people in a shed somewhere, or like whatever he's doing in his free time.
He got out of his murder basement.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pagan, who was it that came up with that idea to have the green screen fail for that split second on his his call.
Don't think
I don't
anybody did.
I will
don't
go
think
ahead and
anybody
assume
expected.
that was Steph.
Oh, really?
That
was
was
the
that
editor.
was awesome. That was so funny.
It's probably it was probably Stephanie. If she's if she's editing, then it was probably
I
Stephanie.
mean, it could have been something like maybe Drew or PJ came up with the idea, but it would have been her ultimately that had implemented it in the show itself. Which I was gonna shout that out, the Richard's murder basement glitch that we got in the beginning of the show.
Basement glitch.
Oh my god, so good.
I love what he said. I think Nolan said something like, "Oh, there's a naked guy running around the background,"
He says,
and
like,
Richard
"Oh, he
just
got
goes,
out."
"Oh, one of them escaped."
He
Like,
rolls with it. Oh, it's so awesome.
that was so good. Honestly,
It was so
that
good because
was-
Nolan's
that was
always
gold.
like hamming on him, and then for Richard to just like get back at him, it really like kind of Nolan was just like, oh my god, like that was good, that was a good one. Like
Literally anytime somebody hops on that joke, I'm like, oh, this is great. I love that.
So good.
I need to go back to the basement glitch because I had listened to the episode. I had listened and watched it while I was working.
Did you not see the
Um,
basement glitch?
I don't think I actually see the glitch. I heard it, but I didn't see it. Is this in the beginning of the episode
It's
before they
very
start
early
playing,
on.
or?
Yeah, when they first bring Richard in, and
I want to
after
say it's
the
like
Naked
5
Man
minutes.
joke, and Richard's talking. He goes down a little bit of a tangent, and during that, you see his background like switch out to a basement with a cage in it, and then it comes right back.
Oh, what? No, I don't think I saw that. Oh
It's
man.
perfect.
Okay.
The only
I'll
thing
have
that
to go
could've
back
made
and
it
see
better
it.
is if like Nolan was in on it, but I'm pretty sure they did it all in post, so obviously it wasn't like talked about. Because then
Yeah.
Nolan could have been like, "I saw that."
I think it's nice that like if that's done in post and they don't talk about it, I think that's great because like don't bring attention to it. It's just a thing. Like
Yep.
it's just standard, just normal. It's just normal Richard's house.
That opens
Like-
up to like the in the live chat jokes, which is great for like
Yeah.
Drew or Steph to comment like, "Oh, did you guys see that?"
Murder basement.
This was a good episode. I was gonna mention because we talked about this a little earlier that Nolan's doing well. Like he's got a pretty good flow now. He moves pretty smoothly through the game. His
Mhm.
aim is getting really good. Kind of like on guys as soon as them. He still gets
Mhm.
lost and doesn't quite understand what he's supposed to do, but he kind of has good luck. Speaking of luck, he just kind of happens to like go the right way sometimes.
I feel like Drew definitely guides him, but also the games are guided that way. Like
game does a
Naughty
good
Dog
job
Yellow is
of doing
good.
that.
Yeah.
There was a point too where he jumped to a door, climbed up in an area that he was like, "Oh, that was completely by accident. I had no idea that's what I was supposed to do." He just happened to do.
Yeah.
But like you said, Drew was kind of guiding it, and in the beginning of the episode, Nolan acknowledged that he said Drew is on standby because I heard this is a tough part of the game, which he definitely good thing he was prepared. And there was a few people in the live chat that were like, "Oh, Drew's helping him too much." I don't think that's so.
I don't
fair.
think so.
Because-
That's not fair.
I mean, they
I
said, first of
was-
all, you were one of them, Justin.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
I think
prefaced
it was like
shade.
it was like the Nolan definitely needed the help. I'm not going to deny
Yeah.
that, but I don't know. I feel like Drew kind of like gave him the answers a little too quickly.
I don't think he did, honestly. Nolan, knowing how
I-
Nolan plays and how subtle Drew were, I don't.
I do think though they're timed. There are time constraints to be met here, and
Right.
they really can't afford Nolan to be like roaming around for 30 minutes trying to find the next place to go to. So I
Mhm.
do think like a lot of Drew's input has come in, especially like in the other playthroughs. If you have a look, like Drew's input in the beginning playthrough wasn't as much, but then towards I guess the end of the game or the middle of the game, Drew started inputting more, especially in like The Last of Us and I think Uncharted 2.
Mhm.
Because the game does get a little bit more hectic and stuff is happening, but also they don't have time to explore or go find treasure or whatever. So
Right.
I think that helps. That's my
I don't know,
opinion.
I
I don't know.
I keep thinking about back to my own playthrough, and I don't know if it's just because of a skill gap or something, but I didn't think that the section that he went through was not as difficult for me
Particularly
to
difficult.
speaking it, particularly difficult.
Yeah.
I think I might have died in what would have been the span of this week's episode maybe a dozen times.
Well, think about that.
But,
You have a
yeah.
certain skill level, maybe died
Yeah.
a dozen times. Compared to someone of Nolan's skill level, let's
Right.
let's triple your number. let's assume he's gonna die 45 times, give or take.
True.
And that's where I thought too, because I had just recently played through that part, and even on easy, I died a good number of times. Like, okay, this is gonna be tough for Nolan. I feel bad for him. He's gonna struggle a little bit. But even going into it, like,
I guess I take a little bit for granted the fact that he's on very easy and he gets away with things because of that, like he's not covering and stuff. Where if you were playing that way on a harder difficulty, you would be toast.
Oh,
I think I take that for granted a little bit.
I commend him. I struggled so much on that section. When they were like, "This is the hard section," I was like, "Oh yeah, honey, yeah, it is." Like, it's real bad.
Then again, going back to Uncharted 1, everybody was, or was it Uncharted 2? I can't remember which one, with the jet skis.
Yeah.
Everybody was, talking about how Nolan's going to struggle so much with the jet skis, and he made it look easy.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I mentioned that on the episode of the podcast after that. I learned something from watching that episode, because I learned from watching them play that Nolan/Elena, when you're on the jet ski, will auto aim. You don't have to stop and aim, and that makes that whole section way easier. Because if you actually try to aim and shoot at all the enemies, way harder, and that's how I always played that scene in the beginning. I never auto aimed.
I just learned that right now.
Yeah, so go back
so thank you.
I was today years old when I found that out.
I was today years old when I found that.
So, hot tip.
Thank you very much.
Play the jet ski scene. It makes that part way easier.
No, I've just replayed
I think
that
I just tried
well.
to drive past everything, honestly.
Oh man, had we only been a few episodes earlier, Holly.
I know, literally. God damn
my scheduling. Oh.
Well, anyways, I wanted to give another shout out to a part where in the game, Drew had popped up in the chat, like in the stream, to kind of like give that little bit of advice, and he was in and out like constantly throughout that episode. But there was one moment in particular that I absolutely loved, and I wanted to give this a shout out, where Nolan says he gets the scene right before the cruise ship, and there's all the waves crashing, and he just looks at this chaos in front of him, and he goes, "What the fuck do I do?" And Drew says, "You fight your way to the boat." And then Nolan drops down, and there's a guy standing in front of him. And Drew goes, "Oh, and you can stealth that guy." And before he gets the word "guy" out of his mouth, Nolan just shotguns him.
I actually had the same note. I had the same note. It's the same though, like with all the other Uncharted games, where like, especially when they were doing
much for stealth.
1 and 2, like.
Stealth.
I think it would be Troy or whatever. He'd be like, okay, so you can actually stealth this guy. And as the words are coming out of his mouth, Nolan chucks a grenade or fucking starts firing. And you're like, oh, or you could do that. That's also fine. So when this came up, I made a note about it because I was like, that is hilarious. Like, hey, you could stealth. Okay, you could just shoot him in the face. Yeah.
I just run straight through them and like, dude, just do whatever you want.
Just do whatever you want.
But like, you can
just run straight to the stage and this starts like doing a show and the guys are like, what is going on?
I think you can audibly hear it in Drew too when he's like, "You can stealth that guy." Okay.
That would definitely be my reaction anyway. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. So just do that.
Did you guys have any particular moments from that episode that you enjoyed?
I just love watching him watch it. For like, I mean, he's probably watched it when they've done clips of it before releasing the game, but for him to experience it for the first time is just so nice, because it's like we kind of get to experience it again in a weird way. And like the bit, he's hanging off the side of the boat and you get like the wide shot of the boat. That's such a cool another shout out to the music and the scene as well. It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just enjoy. I actually restarted the whole of like the Uncharted playthroughs again, because I was like, I just love watching you play it and see how good you've gotten as well. Like that's another thing. Like you said, like he just immediately knows what to do now. He's not walking around aimlessly as much, but
still had a moment of struggling with the aiming the pistol and that press R3 or X. And
yes,
Nolan goes, "What's R3?"
Like, every time
he's like, "We went through this. We did this like 2 episodes ago. Come on."
For Nolan, he's a busy guy. You can't remember those.
I don't know. I don't know if he saw it or not, but I even made sure to like kind of poke fun at that in the member only live stream that aired, like right at the end, I just kind of like threw in a quick. So Noli, which one is R3? I don't think anybody saw it.
I didn't see that either. Yeah, God. Every time Drew's like, "Hey, hit R3," and Nolan's like, "What one's R3?" And I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
Again.
Because remember when he was doing one, and then he was like, "The right controller, the right controller, press down on the right controller," and he's like, "I am doing it," and then he shows the controller and he's pushing down the left. And Drew's like, "The other right."
He's just got the controller like upside down, and he's just like, "What do I do?"
I got it now.
Do a quick another shout out for Drew too, kind of calling him out where he was trying to tell Nolan to dodge, and he said avoid, and then he was like evade. He was telling him to, like, dodge the attacks.
I actually saw that. Yeah. The whole of this section, the shipyard, and then getting into like the cruise ship and the window breaking and everything. The whole of the section is my favorite of the game. The whole game. I just love this whole section. So that was really cool seeing him like attack the guys in like, I guess where it is, it's like a main hall area or a dining area or something in this cruise ship. Fucking great. And then obviously the running away from the water.
Well, that was definitely like the main set piece of the entire game, was that cruise ship. Like that's where all the money probably got put into that game, I would.
So I just want to touch on your note there. You have a note there about Pyro's Deadpool.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
I was going to shout out the first time Nolan dies, and he goes, "There you go, Pyro. That's one." And then he didn't really die again until the water.
Until that water, okay.
In from the big like sunroof that would have been the top of the ship was turned over.
Yeah.
And it started flooding in after him. And then he went from like 2, maybe 3 deaths to, what was it? What was the count up to, like in the 20s, I think.
I think he went from 9 to 23.
Oh my god.
He was
if I
doing
remember
so
right, because
well.
I was like, yes, okay, only die a couple times here, Nolan, and I'll win the Deadpool because I had 13. And then he just blew past that. I'm like, holy.
Because I feel like Nolan before had been like, it doesn't count if I'm just failing at something, right? It has to count that I die, like as in like being shot by somebody. And we're all like, no, that's not how it works.
You still die.
How many times you have to redo it? That's the count.
Well, going back to the rooftop chases. The rooftop chases when he was getting what was it? He was young Noli run. I can't talk. Young Nathan.
Guards as young.
Yes.
Nathan.
Young Nathan running away from the guards, and he would get caught, and he'd be like, "That's not a death. That's just me getting caught." And we're trying to explain to him, these are bad people. They're going to do bad things to you now that they've caught you. You're not going to survive it.
I will attest to that I was replaying that scene not long ago, and like I got caught by one of those guards, and he immediately bashed me in the back of the head with his gun. I'm like, oh, that's probably death.
Yeah, that's probably especially at that age as well. That's probably death.
That's probably death
for sure.
Yeah, so I was just trying to hint at that. The whole like he went from like very few deaths to a bunch from that one scene.
I felt that frustration like real. Every time he died, it was like I was like, please don't throw the controller again. Don't do it.
And then the chat was just chat's just blowing up. Stop jumping. Don't jump. Quit jumping. And I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, I know this. I had to resist the urge to do it myself because I know it's already pre-recorded, and it's just like, I got to hold back because I know typing it's not going to do anything. He's going to keep jumping. I do want to give him credit though. This is definitely a sign of him improving as a gamer, gaining those skills. When he was climbing up the side of that boat and realizing when he got to certain points, enemies were going to spawn in and start attacking him.
Yes.
Yeah, he was starting to
it's like his gamer senses. Yes. We've said this before, I think, in the other one. Yeah. In like Uncharted 1 or 2 or whatever, where like towards the end of the game, he starts predicting stuff and you're like, yes, Nolan, your gamer senses are tingling. Yes.
Neo sees the Matrix.
Yeah. He sees the Matrix. Excellent reference. Yes.
Nolan, exactly like I just picture Nolan as a Terminator now, like getting like the information in the eyeball.
But it only shows up like Naughty Dog yellow. Like it just like sees a room in Naughty Dog yellow.
Naughty Dog yellow.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
see Naughty Dog yellow everywhere.
Like
no.
Well, normally we would have another topic of discussion this week. We would talk about The Last of Us speed run, but
yeah,
just because
You know what? I feel like we could do.
could
Myself and Dan are gonna do a side quest episode anyway. Once we've actually both finished The Last of Us, and we will actually be rewatching all of those Retro Replay versions with The Last of Us run through. And I'm so excited because I think I put this out on Twitter. It's kind of like a package that you're waiting to unwrap. Because I know this content's there. I know it's going to be excellent, but I can't watch it just yet because I don't want to spoil anything for gameplay on me.
Yeah.
And I know I should just be like finish the game and everything, but not everybody has the time or the money or whatever to actually finish the game in the time frame. So I'm super happy to get into them, but I feel like we could get into them at another stage. Did you guys both watch them?
I did.
Yeah,
because I had already finished the game.
And we suck, Pagan.
Well, we'll bow out. We'll just be like,
We'll walk away.
Well, no, because a lot of people bowed out of watching that episode to avoid the spoilers. Because a lot of people that normally show up to the live, it's probably I only get to show up to the Uncharted live chats and the recently the speedrun live chats, because the rest of the time I'm working till when the episode airs. But yeah, a lot of the regular community that are normally there for every episode aren't in the live chats for the speed runs of the last two speed runs for the transitioning to The Last of Us 2, and now this one that was entirely The Last of Us 2 because they wanted to avoid spoilers. And this one, even though it was only showing a lot of the combat scenes, they did talk about a lot of the heavy story notes of the game. And it was a very spoiler-heavy episode.
Well,
I see what you mean.
I want to echo maybe what Pagan said too about like the package notion. Like I'm actually very excited for that because, like we have said, we've talked about how we want to do a separate side episode where we discuss playing The Last of Us 2, and I feel that knowing we have these episodes to watch after we've beaten the game is going to help add to our conversation that we're going to have and record. And I'm actually going back to the avoiding watching them beyond because we're going to save it for when we talk about the game. As a gamer, I don't want to see how Anthony is tackling certain situations in the game before I've played them myself. That's just personal preference. Nothing against the game. It's nothing to do about spoilers. It's just I want to learn how to do the game or figure out how to get through the areas myself. And that's just
you want to experience it.
Yeah, it'll affect the way you play. It no longer becomes you playing it yourself. It becomes you essentially
using
mirroring somebody else playing it.
From watching somebody else play.
Yeah.
Which, if I had already beaten the game, I wouldn't care. I'd totally watch that. But I think it's going to add to me and Pagan's conversation that we're
it makes sense. Yeah, completely. And I think like it is nice to just have this bundle so we could like binge all three of them and then like have a chat about what went on and what went down, and then actually have a chat about The Last of Us Part 2 and sit down and really get into that. Which is exciting to do because I feel like we'll be the only two that haven't completed it.
I'm kind of jealous that Theod's still playing it.
Yeah, 8 hours. I got
so nice.
I got that 8 hours left. I swear to God, I just need a full day to be like, let me just run through this. I swear I'll get there.
It's better to do it in chunks though, because then you get excited about being like, oh, I've got like an hour or however long people have to play it.
Tiny little bite-sized chunks.
Yeah, to be honest, like I feel like maybe it's just the heaviness of the game or something, or the constant back and forth of this game. That I'm just kind of like, anytime I get to a point, I'm just like, okay, I need to just turn it off. So essentially, like I would do a chapter or whatever that kind of like equates to in that game. But yeah, I feel like it's not off-putting or anything. It's just like I need to take a break here, and also like I am really super not happy about the game mechanic that almost all games have. Where it's like, hey, remember that place you were before? You got to go back there. And then, when you get there, we're going to tell you to go right back to the place you came from. Hate that game mechanic so much. So if I see it in this game, I will rage quit. Be like, fuck you, game. I'm out. Because that happened to Death Stranding, and I got to a point which was difficult to get to. They told me to go back to where I came from.
Quit Death Stranding.
That is why I rage quit. I rage quit Death Stranding in January. I haven't picked it up since because I know.
I went play the original Resident Evil games, Silent Hill games, any original survival horror games. Then.
I can't. I just can't. That frustrates the fuck out of me because I'd go there, I'd get
those
to like
games for when me and Pagan can stream them as a Replayer podcast special or something.
Yeah, we'll do the scary games, and then I can get frustrated in real life. But don't you find that frustrating? Like you've spent so much of your time getting to a point, and they go, "Hey, go back to where you came from, and then come back here."
I get more frustrated when I get to a spot and I can't. I'm stuck and I can't figure out how to progress.
Oh, I see.
I could echo it
more than get told to go back because
I've had an issue with Days Gone, where I leave a camp, and then as soon as I leave the camp, people at that camp call me like, "Hey, we need you to come back here because we got a mission for you," and I'm like, "I just fucking left." And it happens
like that
single time.
Yes. The same
especially
mechanic.
when I fast travel, because I will fast travel across to the other side of the map, and then I get that call, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. This is my problem. This is why I just didn't like a lot of it, and I feel like that's probably why I didn't enjoy playing The Witcher as much. Like I'll still play it now, like by myself. I've stopped streaming it and stuff. But it's just this like, hey, I've got a mission for you, and then you go out, you do the mission, you got to go back to that place, then you start the next place, and I'm just like, I cannot. I like the linear stories, Uncharted, whatever, where you're just like going straight down the game.
How fun they make the traversal, because if it's fun moving back and forth, you're not gonna mind it so much. Like maybe like Spider-Man.
Sure, I was gonna say Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I can also go over the other side of the city. Like I want to go and
shout
swing.
To like Ghost of Tsushima that I've been playing the last couple of days. That game is gorgeous. I will never complain about having to move around in that world. It's just I enjoy just looking at the environment so much.
I know that from just watching little bits of this game that I may not enjoy that because Horizon did the same thing for me. Beautiful universe. Fuck, like the art in that game is just incredible. But I know moving place to place across a big map, I was like, oh, for the love of God.
I will
like,
say,
so then I take it you're not big on Red Dead Redemption 2 either.
I am not.
But I will say the one thing Ghost does to fix that, Pagan, is it has a fast travel system that doesn't cost you anything. Like Horizon
Thank God.
So you can opt out of traveling by foot and or by horse and just fast travel to the location you've already been to.
I'll see. We can do another side quest episode of impressions on that one as well. But yeah, I haven't played it yet because I have to put The Last of Us down first before I play that.
All right, and then with that, we'll start wrapping things up. Before we go, the last thing I wanted to do is give our own Pagan McGrath a little shout out here as she's swallowing a drink.
She's swallowing. You're gonna have that, aren't you?
Flipped.
Fuck.
Pagan McGrath is now the new Retro Replay Intern, as announced as of today.
That's me.
So congratulations, Pagan.
Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. I've had a lot of support, so I really appreciate it all. Thank you.
It kind of goes.
And I'm sure you've heard this a lot. We're all jealous.
Yeah, you're the first person to say it. Thank you, Justin. No, it's nothing. Yeah, I would get that. I'm like that. I am jealous of me.
Yeah.
Like.
But this
I understand.
Echoes our goals when we first started the podcast. And we reflected on that briefly in our 1-year episode where we talked a little bit about the hopes that we had with starting this podcast and helping contribute Retro Replay show community. That was all part of it, and this is another step in that journey.
It's honestly, like, jokes aside and everything, I get that from the community, and like I appreciate all the support and love and everything, and it is fucking unbelievable that I'm in this position, and I am extremely thankful. And I'm sure once Drew realizes who I am or how I am, he'll be like, nope. No, but like honestly, it's an amazing experience to have, to be a part of, and I'm excited to see where it takes me and what this journey will be like over the next however long, hopefully a long time.
We'll see. And obviously, like I said, that's where we hoped doing this will help us help you, everyone else, in that sense. And just
it wasn't yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna note that we're not gonna, you being an intern with Retro Replay isn't gonna change anything with the podcast. We're not gonna get any like super exclusive insight in any way. Obviously, Pagan's gonna have certain legal obligations. She's not gonna be able to share certain information with us. What we can share
non-disclosure
is the information that Drew has been with us, which we're super appreciative. He gives us a little bit of insight here and there. We get our retro replies, which sadly we won't be having a retro reply this week, but we have hopefully a whole new slew of questions to get from them to share with everybody in the future.
Yeah, cool. And like I'll probably just echo what Drew said in the last in our special episodes with him. Like if you do have any questions about membership or community or for the show or anything like that, and you want them answered, like if you want them answered on the podcast, you can email thereplayerpodcast@gmail.com. But if you have questions for Retro Replay, you can send that email to members@retroreplayshow.com.
Yeah, and we'll start adding that into our show notes for people to find for that.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent.
Because that's what we're here for Retro Replay.
That's what we're here for.
Cool. Anything else you wanted to add, Pagan, before we move on?
No, it's just more, I guess, like I would say like community focused. Obviously, I am abroad. I'm an international intern, so I do what I can. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or if there's anything that's bothering you or you have a question, you want to reach out, like don't be afraid to reach out. You can reach out to me via Twitter or DM me on Discord or anything. It's fine. So
with that, we're gonna start closing the show out. We're going to give you guys a chance to share your socials or anything else you've got going on. If you have anything you want to share, put out there in the world, ask people to check out, or just throw out your Twitter handle. Up to you, whatever you'd like to do. Let's start with you. Anywhere you would like to share that people can find you?
Mainly on Instagram, so just my name, Holly Causa.
With your awesome cosplay.
That's all I won't call it awesome. It's a thing. It's that.
Listen, I would call it awesome. I think it's incredible.
It's there. It's all right.
Oh, it's great. Stop. She's great, everybody. Go find her. She's fantastic.
No, don't. Actually, no. Yeah, give me all the links.
Yeah. Go on.
Go on. Give me it all. Like, what's my name on? My Twitter name is Red Wine Connoisseur. Which I'm not, so that's interesting.
Be a fan.
I was going to change it to Boxed Wine Connoisseur because let's be honest, everyone's more of a boxed wine in lockdown. Bear with me. I haven't made anything in a while because quarantine has not been the most creative time. But
quarantine cosplays.
Yeah. I was like, go. Check anything out.
No,
it'd be a perfect time to look up different fictional nurses and doctors across different media like horror and fantasy to cosplay as.
Good count. Yeah, good.
Oh, very true. I was trying to think if anything of my friends have been doing that I can plug instead, but no.
If you can rock like a cool
if you think of it, let us know.
Meme cosplay where it's like, Joel wears his mask so he doesn't get cordyceps and you should wear your mask too.
You should wear your mask too.
Anywho, how about you, Justin? Anything you'd like to share?
I'm on Facebook, Justin Plum, Instagram. I think I'm the same name. Most of my other media is AltaGamer2004. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. I do stream. I do gameplay videos. I'm also, as you guys probably figured, on Discord. On Twitter at AltaGamer. I've been meaning to use that more, but if you tweet me and I don't get back to you, it's just because I'm getting used to using it. It's not a social media I use a lot. But yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere as either Justin Plum or as AltaGamer2004.
Nice. On the live chat.
Nice.
Yeah. Holly,
I love seeing you guys on live chat.
YouTube awesome. Handle and the live chat that we can find you at?
It's just my name again.
It's your name, right? Yeah.
Just my name. Yeah. I'm there every now and then, like, oh hi, I'm 84, really in life and don't know how to use a computer. So I'm like, hello.
I see you. I see you there. Yeah.
Hello, where's the button? Just like cramming, like trying to press buttons.
Well, that's the beautiful thing though, is you don't even have to use a computer. Thursdays I'm usually visiting my dad when the Retro Replay live chat. Right now it's the Uncharted live chat is up, and I'll just be there on YouTube mobile on my phone talking to everybody. It's harder to tag because you got to manually type in the
I
at
know
and then the name.
Yeah, never bother.
But
like, why doesn't YouTube get their shit together? YouTube, get your shit together by the app so we can actually tag people
literally
in live chat. Oh my god, so frustrating because I know exactly what you think. What I do now, Justin, is when I'm on live chat and I'm on my phone, I will just like capitalize everybody's name. So rather than be like Ulti Game in 2004, it would just be like capital Justin, like be like at capital Justin, at capital Holly. And I'm like, this is way easier because otherwise I'd have to be like Holly. And then if you don't put the space in the C, like it doesn't pick it up, but sometimes it will pick it up. And you're like, oh, for God's sake. I know. So it just turns out a mess. So I just capitalize the name.
That's actually a good idea. I wish I'd thought of that.
Yeah, I'm not shouting at everybody, just so that you all know in the Replayer podcast chat, in like the Replayer live chat. I am not shouting at you. It's because I'm on my phone and I can't tag you. Yeah,
it works.
There you go. Just imagine like, Justin! Hello!
All right, and then
Pagan!
Hello.
To close us out here, Pagan, why don't you give us that members contact a message one more time?
Yeah, sure. If you guys have any questions for Retro Replay or any suggestions or ideas, send them over to members@retroreplayshow.com.
Perfect. And then if you want to reach us, you can message us at thereplayerpodcast@gmail.com with your questions for Retro Replay that we can get them sent in. If you want to be on the podcast, you can reach out to us and let us know that you're interested in coming on the show. Just, I want you to be a replayer. Only requirement.
Yes. Yeah, feel free to DM, reach out, whatever. Like, all you got to do is like Retro Replay and have some sort of a microphone and a headset is absolutely fine. Something from your phone, perfect. Pop us a note. Come on, have a chat.
You can DM either myself or Pagan. Let us know you're interested on, and we'll get you on when we can. Do our best. So, with that, to close it out, let's Pagan, give your show shows. My
socials are at Pagan Plays on Twitter. At Pagan_plays on Instagram and at Pagan_plays on Twitch.
Perfect. And then you can find me at Stark Evil Vash on pretty much anything and everywhere, wherever you're looking. Except Twitter, I am Stark Evash. That's StarkyVash.
Why?
VASH.
We haven't done that in a while.
Finish things up. We haven't done that in a while.
No, I know. Sorry. I just have to hop on the back of that.
We're going to thank everybody over at Retro Replay. That is Nolan, Drew, DJ, Steph, Paul, Pagan.
Do you thank me now?
Possible emote coming. Possible emoji coming.
I am. I guess I am.
We need our own emojis for our YouTube channel now that we do live premieres.
We actually should get our own emojis.
I don't know how, though. I think we have to get a certain number of subscribers.
I will research that.
that.
We'll look into it.
All right. So thank you, Holly. Thank you, Justin, for joining us this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure
to know you guys.
For joining us for the first episode of Level 2. Our first episode of
Level 2!
Level 2. Yo, whoa.
All right. And with that, it's game over.
Oh, sorry. Are we done this?